This video is going to be a crochet introductory video for all the different stitches that are most commonly used in crochet. So I'm going to start by letting you know that for this video I'm using a prim hook. It's a J, which is a size 6. I will put the link for that in the description in the bio. And I will be using a 4-weight worsted yarn. This is like an olive green color. And I will jump right into it then. So, some very basic things to know about the way that I crochet personally. For tension, I wrap around my pinky, go under these 2 fingers and on top of my index finger, and that helps me control how fast the yarn is being pulled from the skein of yarn itself. Another thing, there's a lot of different methods people have to different crochet stitches and techniques. These are just my own personal ones, the ones that I know how to do. You're more than welcome to watch a bunch of other videos and see if there's another technique that works better. So for a slip knot, I personally take one finger, my index finger, I wrap the yarn twice, hold it with the next finger. You take the back one, move it over, leave it there. You grab this one again, the one that was in front, now back. You go over and then under the finger and pull it tight. And that is how I make my slip knots. There is other ways people do them. That's the way I do. So we're going to start with very basic chaining. So with a chain, you're going to take your hook and then yarn over, which means you're going to go in front of the yarn, turn the hook a little bit to grab it, and pull it through the hook, the yarn on the hook. Okay, we'll do that again. Yarn over, pull it through from a different angle so you can see it coming through the hook. So this is 4. Now, I'm still fairly a beginner, so what I do to count stitches is I go by 4s, and every 4 I move my finger up to make sure that I'm keeping relatively the same tension. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And right here on 20 is where I would put a stitch marker. That helps me keep count so that in the future, if I'm making a blanket and the blanket's like 120 chains, I only need to count the stitch markers and count by 20 to know where I'm at. It's very easy to lose count when you're chaining. Okay, so I'm just going to start with 20 for now. When you're doing single crochets on a chain, they're going to talk about, let me turn this on so you can see a little better. The yarn loop on the hook is never the one you start with. You can start with this one, which is the second hook, the second loop from the hook. If you're doing a double crochet or a triple crochet, you're going to move a little bit further down. For right now, we're going to be doing single crochet. So you're going to go into this second one from the hook. So you count 1, 2. You're going to go into the top. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop through. So you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over again and pull through both of them. So that is your single crochet. Now you're going to go to the next chain on the next hoop on the chain. You're going to go through the top of that one, pull up a loop, and through these 2. So now you can see that's 2 different chains. We'll do a couple more. You go into the next chain, you pull up a loop, you yarn over, pull through 2, next one, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So as you can see, here is single crochets on a chain. Now, there is another way to do anything from a chain, and that is in the back bump that you can see when you turn your work. This bump right here will leave a cleaner edge, so you'll still see the V that the stitches make. So this isn't going to look very pretty because I'm not going to restart, but to go into the back loop, you turn your work on its side, go into that loop in the back, pull up, pull through 2, and there's your single crochet. I'll do a couple more. This back bump in the middle, you go through that, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then as you can see, kind of, it looks much better down here on the bottom. Now, I'm going to continue this row in single crochet so you can practice with me if you would like. I'm going in the back bump for now, just because that's what I started, so I'm going to continue going through it. And I will say this back bump can be a lot trickier to get through than going through the front. Your tension has to be loose enough to be able to go through it. Okay. There's just a few more, so we are doing a US single crochet. If you're reading a UK pattern in UK terminology, this is called a double crochet. So that is just something to remember going forward as you learn more about crocheting, is that the UK and the US use the same words for different stitches. I will be teaching you the US stitches because I am from the United States. However, there are tutorials out there for UK if that is what you would prefer. Just a couple more here at the end of our chain. Sorry if it's going off camera at all. I am trying to look through my camera and do this. Okay, one last one. And this last one can be kind of hard to see. You can see the front, the back, and here is the middle. Okay, a couple things to know about turning your crochet work. You're always going to chain on the side. The number you chain depends on what stitch you're using. For single crochet, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work almost like you're reading a book. Okay? And going back, we're going to do single crochet this row going back. You can see my dog over in the corner. I apologize if you can hear her. So you're going to go under both loops here. You're going to pull up the yarn and pull through. Do that a few more times so you can see. Sorry about my fingers. You're going to go under both loops of the V. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, and then yarn over and pull through 2. Go through, pull up, go through 2. Okay. And as we work our way down this line, we're going to work on our tension, which means how tight we're pulling the yarn. If your tension is too tight, your work might curl a lot. Also, another thing to know about starting chains, as you're going down, they might curl like this. The bigger your project is, the more weight it has, it'll straighten itself out. Okay, we're coming on the end. There's a few left, so let me just show you these last few. Okay, we have 2 left right here, which can be a little bit hard to see. There's one here and one right here. We're gonna go single crochet into here, and then this last stitch can be hard to find sometimes. You're gonna go under both loops again. You're gonna yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and here we have 2 rows of single crochet. Now, I'm going to move on to showing you what a half double crochet looks like on the next row. And this is another very popular stitch. So with half double crochet, you're going to chain 1, 2, and then turn your work like a book again. You always want to try to turn in the same direction each time. So what you're going to do with a half double crochet is you're going to yarn over so you have 2 loops on your hook. You're going to go through and underneath the 2, yarn over, pull up a loop. You're going to count 1, 2, 3 on your hook. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3. So we'll do that again. You're going to yarn over. You're going to go through the 2 on the stitch, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3. This is a bigger stitch than the single crochet, so you can see it's a little bit taller. And this is a very popular blanket stitch. So you're gonna go under, pull through, and then pull through all 3. Every pattern that calls for this might have a different amount of turning chains at the beginning or end. Just follow the pattern. But as you're learning, start with a swatch of 10 to 20 like this, and just practice your stitches, practice your tension. You can make dishcloths, you can make squares, you can make lopsided triangles that you didn't mean to make because you accidentally dropped the stitches at the end that are hard to find. That's perfectly fine. My very first project was supposed to be a dishcloth. It turned out to be a triangle trapezoid figure that served the purpose and function, even if it wasn't the prettiest. So we're going to continue with half double crochets down this row. And UK terminology again, I believe these are called half treble crochets. Also ignore all the dog fur that you can see in my yarn. As I said earlier, I do have a dog and she is a golden retriever, so she sheds quite a bit. Okay, we're coming up on the end. So you can see we're pulling through all 3. We have 2 stitches left again. 1, 2. We're going to go under this one, pull through, and then this last stitch, we want to make sure we're not dropping this stitch. That's when it starts to turn into kind of a triangle trapezoid figure. So we're going to go under this stitch, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. And as you can see, the ends are not a perfect straight line, but they are straight. Okay, now I'm going to go over the double crochet, another very popular stitch. In the US terminology, double crochet is the same as a UK treble crochet. And for turning chain for a double, you're going to chain 1, 2, 3, and then turn your work. This is a taller stitch, so we need a taller start. So you're going to, once again, you're going to yarn over like you're doing a half double. You're going to go in and under these 2 in the stitch. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. So once again, you have 3. However, this time you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through only the first 2 so that there's 2 on your hook still. You're going to yarn over again and pull through those 2. That is your completed double crochet. We'll do it again. You go under here, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2. You have 2 left. Pull over and pull through the last 2. Okay, so this is a very popular blanket stitch. And this is also the basis of some other stitches. So once you learn how to do this, you'll be able to advance a little bit further with different types of stitches. Okay, so we go in, pull up a loop, pull through the first 2, pull through the first 2. And as you can see, this is a taller stitch than the half double, which was much taller than the single. We'll go down the line. And this is going to happen to you. This happens to every crocheter. The hook falls out. You can still see the 2 hooks, the 2 loops that the hook needs to go in. And even if you don't and you lose it, that's okay. You can always start over. You can pull it out and you can start again. This happens to me quite often still. I'm still a beginner. So take your time, have fun with it. And just remember that learning takes time. And if my tutorial isn't the best help for you, there's others out there. There's plenty that I watched getting started. These prim hooks personally are my favorite. You're going to hear a lot of crocheters talk about clover hooks, and those ones are great hooks. They're metal hooks, so they're definitely not going to bend. These ones, the prim hooks, are plastic. They do have prim metal hooks. I prefer plastic because, in my opinion, it slides easier. You can see maybe how easily the yarn is gliding with this hook. Okay, we have 2 left again. So we're going to go into this one. We're going to do our double crochet. And we're going to go into this last one. Again, can be a little bit hard to find. And we're going to pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. And as you can see from here, my yarn is curled because my chain is tighter than the stitches I did up here. So if that happens to you, what I recommend is you do your starting chain in a hook, a half a size or a full size up to the hook that you're going to be working your project in, just to make sure that your tension is more even. Right now you can see mine is not, it's curving. That's also perfectly okay if you're okay with that. You can add a border that can help straighten it out. You're a beginner, it's perfectly okay to mess up a little bit on projects. They give it personality, in my opinion. So yeah, the other stitch you're going to run into, but not super often, so I'm only going to show a couple, is a US treble crochet. And so we're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, turn our work. And now with a treble crochet in the US, you're going to yarn over once, yarn over twice, so that there's 1, 2, 3. You're going to come down into this stitch. You're going to pull up a loop. So now you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 on your hook. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through 2. Now there's going to be 3. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Oops. There's going to be 2 left. You're going to yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we'll do that again. You're going to 1, 2, 3. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Pull through 2 again. And pull through the last 2. Again, 1, 2. You're going to go into your stitch. You're going to pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. And as you can see, this stitch is bigger, it's looser. It is leaning a little bit for me right now. That's because this is a loose hook for this yarn. I sized up. But yeah, you can see how tall that is. Treble crochets are not used the most often. They might be called triple. They're usually called triple crochets. They're called treble in the UK. And the triple comes from going through 2, 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, that's very tall. Okay. Now, that is the basic introductory stitches when you're working on a chain and working on a blanket or a sweater or something like that. There is some other things like the magic ring that I can make a video on as well, and working in the round. So my next video will probably be working with a magic ring and working in the round. Please let me know what you think. Give any constructive criticisms. This is my first video. I'd love to be able to help more. If you just tell me what you want to see and let me know what you think of this video. Thank you.